This is the quadruped auto rig. 80 hours of work can be consolidated into 20 seconds. I was actually an R&D alumni of Industrial Light and Magic, Lucasfilm, EA Sports, Take-Two Interactive, and the DreamWorks Outreach Program. The way to load the script to use is to go into the expression editor in Maya, click on File, and click Source, and then click the script, and it loads. The first thing you do once the GUI is launched is create the scale node by hitting button 1. That will change the overall scale of the sketch rig. Hit button 2 to create the sketch rig as seen, and then position the joints for the quadruped by translating, rotating, and scaling the open channels. This will retain proper joint orientation for the overall skeleton, and you can mirror both sides or whatever you need to do that, and then lock the skeleton into place by hitting the Create Final Skeleton button. The next thing to do is to create the leaf joints by hitting button 5, and then the leaf joints will be automatically created. You can see it happening right now. Button 5 is being hit. Translate the rated locators into proper position that you want for the pecs and lats of the quadruped, and then finalize leaf joints to lock everything in place. There is hamstring flexing, bicep flexing, an unbreakable wrist, and you position the leaf joints by the orientation of the white anchor. You can see here I'm turning on the translate values of the twist nodes. I'm twisting the leg, and they're deforming properly like a quaternion, making a quaternion rather, and that has to do with the orientation of the anchor. The rig is entirely unbreakable, as are the forearms and shins. You rotate the foot, it works in any orientation without breaking. This is the section involving leaf deletion, deleting leaf joints that you don't want. Create the rig as I've done before, and then in skinning and deletion of unwanted joints, push what pink buttons you want to delete biceps, triceps, pecs, and lats, and then begin your skinning. Now, once the skinning is done, hit button 9 to create the control rig for keyframing. See button 9 being pushed, then the rig is automatically generated. Time to walk through it. Let's see what I do first. The root is actually translated and rotated, and can be moved around any way for the overall root is being shown. Then the spine can twist as well, as can the hips. Translated and rotated the hips in your orientation, as can the upper spine without chest moving around. The upper cavity moves as well, being locked into place. The neck can twist as well through FK controls. The head works the same way as the neck, except there's a locking mechanism that the head can actually be locked into one place or be left free for all to go with the body cavity, is being shown. You can see it like if it was a cheetah locking your head into place. The feet anchors, all 4 legs are the same. They can be translated, rotated, moved around, twisted. For foot roll, you rotate 2 controls at the same time. Gives the animator total control over everything. There's leg raise, toe tilt. And the legs can go with the root, or they can be independent in world space, as being shown. Next is the clavicle, can be translated into position. There's also auto clavicle is being shown. So when you translate the foot forward and backward, the clavicle will move with it, like if you're doing a line. That's how the line was done. Pole vectors, they can follow the individual anchors or be independent in world space. And they're nice and pushed out of the way. But you can translate them into the position that you want to. And all the legs are the same. The tail can be translated or rotated. Each individual control has a pair constraint that goes to the one that's higher above it in the hierarchy. So you can translate the individual control and make an arc like it's being shown, or if you change the control setup, you can actually rotate them all at once. So it's entirely up to you. Virtually putting the tail into any position relatively simply. So you can see I'm translating the whole thing at the same time. And the mast node can scale, rotate, and move the entire rig. By hitting button 10, a facial GUI could be created automatically. That's a standard facial GUI that can be used for a character. Just translate the control. It makes a face move if hooked up. And you can move around the overall GUI as well.